Since this chapter is all about camera raw, I thought it might not be a bad idea to talk about what exactly camera raw is. Don't forget, technical information is about to be disseminated, so please attempt to stay alert at all times. In a nutshell, raw images are not HDR, high dynamic range images. You can use raw images to make HDR, but a raw image is not an HDR image. They're not scans of traditional film images. They are produced using a digital camera. That's what a raw image is. Now, the formats that we can shoot on digital cameras could be TIFF, Tagged Image File Format. Good, robust format. Mac Windows, totally compatible. Great format to work in. Your camera probably also shoots JPEG, Joint Photographers Expert Group. JPEGs are lossy file compression. And what that means is image information is removed to make the file smaller. And then they use a blending, a dithering scheme to actually make your eyes and your mind see colors that are no longer there. It's an interesting format, and most digital cameras shoot them. Not all cameras shoot RAW, and RAW doesn't stand for anything. It just means raw data. If you're shooting Nikon, the extension is NEF. If you're shooting Canon, the extension is actually RAW. The RAW format does something that, in a sense, takes you back, in my opinion, to traditional film. If you're taking a photo, I'd like to thank the Academy for this, say cheese, and you take a photo. That's a traditional camera, traditional film. The light goes through the lens, doesn't do anything, and it deposits it on the film. You then take it into a darkroom. I still have a darkroom. You process it and you work it. Traditional cameras. When you're shooting with digital, say you're shooting RAW, same thing happens. You take a photograph. The information goes through the lens. But if you're not shooting RAW, something happens a lot of people don't know. What happens is the camera, which is a little computer, basically looks at the image and says, well, I think I'll extend the dynamic range here. I think I'll change the color temperature because I think this is where the white is supposed to be. It's manipulating the image before you ever get a chance to work with it. When you're shooting RAW, that don't happen. When you shoot RAW, basically, you've got traditional film in a sense. You're saying, give me the image, put it on the digital film, and don't touch it. I'll take care of that in the Camera Raw plugin, kind of like your darkroom. Now, the proof of the pudding, RAW images give you more stuff. They have a greater bit depth, which means you get more stuff. The extension is determined by the camera, RAW, NEF, just depends on the camera. But the format itself is proprietary to the camera, not to Adobe. They can be saved at higher bit depths, and we're going to talk more about that. It means you're getting more information than you could get, say, with a TIFF or a JPEG. And they're processed first through the Adobe RAW plugin. Now, the plugin does come from Adobe when you purchase Photoshop, so you don't have to worry about that. If you can shoot RAW, they are bigger files. But because of the information you're going to get, in my opinion, they are totally worth it. So check out your camera. Not all digitals do RAW images. I've got a small one that I keep with me. Sometimes if I'm going to go out and paint something, I'll take some photographs of a landscape and bring them home and look at them before I drag all my oils and watercolors out. That camera doesn't shoot RAW. It's just a small digital camera. But if your camera does shoot RAW, I would really, really suggest that you try it out.